way that we rate hotels is if I can turn the AC down all the way and then I can see my breath, and I know I'm in a good hotel.
Jeez.
That's a little chilly.
You get the best nights of your sleep. And then you guys get all the best
Yeah, you're
blankies
supposed to lower your body temperature like 5 degrees to sleep.
See?
Facts.
Welcome to the Movies with Chill podcast.
He's your host,
He's
Chill.
your host, David. Welcome to the Movies with Chill podcast. I am your host, Chill. Tonight we'll be reviewing Elf from 2003. Elf is a Christmas family comedy directed by Jon Favreau. I'm just kidding. It's Jon Favreau.
Jean. Too much anime.
Yay.
Too much omelet.
And written by David Berenbaum. Nope. Inspired by Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Specials by Rankin Bass. Starring Will Ferrell, James Caan, Zoe Deschanel, Mary Steenburgen, Ed Asner, and Bob Newhart. When
Both
Buddy
dead.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Poor guys.
When Buddy the Elf learns of his biological dad, he leaves his home in the North Pole to find his dad in New York City. Tonight, as always, I am joined by David and Lee. How you boys doing tonight?
What's up?
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi. We are back with Annie. It was the third
Grandpa
time?
Joe.
Third time.
Third time?
Grandpa Joe, she's over here
Freezing.
freezing with 8 blankets on.
Yep.
Two.
Two.
We keep the studio cold.
Yes,
Right.
like a
The-
chill.
Beyonce likes the studio cold.
Yes.
He does. And what Beyonce wants, Beyonce
Beyonce
gets.
You can also watch Elf on Hulu if anyone wants to,
Yes,
to know
you
it's
can.
on Hulu this
Yep.
year.
And it was
All
on
over.
I think it's on Max.
Is
because
it?
we watched it on Max as well. So
I know it switches like every year. It's on something
Yeah.
different.
It's on something.
we was on Hulu as well because we were checking through and I was like, oh, look, there's Elf. Do we want to watch it? I'm like, nah. And then we went over to Max and like, oh, there's Elf. Do we want to watch it? Sure, let's watch Max.
I like it on Max.
Okay,
better.
I guess.
Yeah.
First off, recommendations of the week. What have you guys been doing? What have you guys been watching? Anything good? Anything new?
We binged Silo, which
Okay.
is
I can't even,
really
dude.
good.
It's like one of my favorite TV
It
shows.
is so good.
Yeah.
And then we started a new show on Peacock called Day of the Jackal, which is really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good. I like it a
Nice.
lot. And he's
Uh,
not so much into it, but I like it.
No.
I started the new Great British Bake Off. I love it, man. I love that show.
Dude, it's so good.
I know.
It is.
I don't know what anything they make is, though. They're always naming something. I'm like, I have no idea what that is.
So-
I'd eat it, though.
I learned also that there are 2 different variations. Like there's something called a macaroon and then a macaron. And completely different apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sure,
Cool.
if you say so.
Yeah, and they're both delicious. So
I would agree.
Logan, what have we been watching?
One Piece.
Man, let me tell you something about some One Piece, bro. Let me tell you something. I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Oh, great.
Last time we left off,
Way to go.
it was Avengers Endgame with like all of these different pirate crews and all of these warlords and everything kind of converging. We get 2 tragic deaths.
Oh, no.
I wasn't prepared for it. Spoilers, I guess. Ace apparently isn't Luffy's brother, even though that's what we've been told the entire time. He's the son of Gold D. Roger, who was the person that had the One Piece in the last generation.
What is
Sure.
the One Piece?
Listen,
The One Piece of Dragon
nobody
Fruit?
knows.
Thought
It's
it was
the
an
One
outfit.
Piece. Yeah, it's
One-
One Piece. Yeah.
All you
I
get
mean,
is
do
One
they
Piece.
show it?
I don't know.
Is it like The Shining? Is
It's
it
like a
something in-
treasure, okay? Gold D. Roger, who's like the king of the pirates of the last generation.
Okay.
He put all of his treasure in one spot, and they
Okay.
call it the One Piece, okay?
Okay.
And
I
so
gotcha.
the world government's doing it in order to tell everybody, hey, this is what we do to pirates. We kill them, so don't be a pirate. They have this huge public execution, and it's part of the beginning of the show. Gold D. Roger is, hey, my treasure's out there, and whoever gets it, you can have it. Go out and find it. And so it started the great pirate era because everybody is like, I'm going to be rich if I go out and find this treasure. You know what I'm saying? So that's what started One Piece, the show. And so Luffy's journey is to become king of the pirates and find the One Piece.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How many episodes?
What are we?
501.
We're in 501 episodes in.
No, and how many are there?
Over 1,100.
Absolutely not.
Halfway there.
I don't
Almost.
have that kind of
Are
time.
they
No.
like 20 minutes long too?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 22 minutes.
Is the screaming in those too?
I hate the screen so much.
Annie sits in the bedroom, which
Yeah.
is right
Tell
next
him.
to where we watch Attack on Titan, and
Yeah.
she can hear all the yelling. And she's like, "What is all the yelling about?"
What is happening?
I know it triggers me. I hate it
yeah.
so much.
Especially if that's all you're hearing.
So Logan wants to desperately say what Whitebeard's last words were.
Do it.
So Whitebeard is like Goldwater's best friend, but wasn't there as execution. So he was the second big death, and his last words were telling them that One Piece is real.
Yep, the One Piece is real.
One Piece is real.
It's real.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna start it. We're gonna watch it.
Said
We're
I'm ready
not
to go.
watching.
Colton even
Just
said
talking to
that.
Annie.
I am not watching that.
There is a live action version on Netflix, and it's not bad. It really
They
isn't.
have a live
Do they yell?
action
Do they,
They have a live
do they
action.
condense it?
Wait.
Yes, they do.
You're telling me human beings are
Meh.
going to yell this?
the live action one.
No,
Not
she
if they're
won't.
going to yell.
No, she won't.
So currently, there is One Piece, the anime, One Piece, the manga, which is
Yeah,
you
I
know,
see that everywhere.
right, and then they got the live action show, and then they have Wit Studios version, which is called The One Piece, and it's basically a retelling of the One Piece for people that don't want to go back through and watch 1100
Yeah.
episodes. So
I understand that.
Yeah, I
So-
get it.
Anyway, what are we doing? Christmas movie,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
Elf,
Anyway,
I think.
Elf.
We get you on a tangent about
Woo!
anime.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Dude, I legit, they spent like an entire 12 episode arc on all of these characters' backstories, and I was like, man, and then I'm freaking crying at it. I've cried on for One Piece at least 12 times. At least. Yeah, Logan
be that
says
good.
too. Those are the times he caught me.
You can't.
Anyway, let's get back to Elf.
We can even have a 4-minute conversation about Star Trek.
Yeah.
right? And we just heard him rant about One
One
Piece,
Piece.
For forever.
15 minutes.
For a good day and a half.
They want to start another one
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
called the Star Trek podcast.
I mean,
I
would.
can see that.
right.
I could.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I did
Lee,
pick this movie
why did you pick Elf?
because this is one of the 5 Christmas movies that I watch every year.
Okay. I can tell you for certainty that we've watched Elf
Yep.
almost every single
Oh,
year,
yeah.
too.
It's
agree.
a classic. It's
Yeah.
We
this
watch it a
Christmas
couple
Vacation,
times.
The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version.
love it.
Christmas Story, gotta watch that. And there's another one we usually watch.
Mine's always Meet Me in St. Louis. I watch it every year. I love
can't
it.
remember. There's another one we watch, and I can't think of it. It's
No,
not Die
it's
Hard.
not Die Hard.
Gremlins.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Do it the Lethal Weapon way.
Yeah. Do you guys remember the first time you watched Elf?
The theater when
Yeah.
it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really an instant classic.
21
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Our icebreaker this week is, what is your favorite Rankin and Bass Christmas special?
So you got Rudolph, and then you've got
Isn't that the one with
Herbie.
that
Yeah,
one?
that's the
Then that
one.
one.
Rudolph. Yeah, I think mine's gonna be Rudolph.
Yeah.
Rudolph?
Yeah.
I got you.
I don't want to be an elf. I want to be a dentist.
Nailed it. I think he wanted to be something else.
Yeah. What's the island of misfit toys?
Maybe a squirt gun that shoots jelly.
It's a train with square wheels or a water gun that shoots jelly.
I think mine is either Santa Claus is coming to town or The Year Without a Santa Claus. Whatever one has the two brothers where it's like, I'm Mr. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Heat
the
miser.
misers, the heat
misers.
misers.
Yeah, the
I
brothers.
think
Yeah,
that's
I got
Santa
it.
Claus is coming to town.
Yeah.
Yeah, so love that one. What about you, Dave?
Rudolph.
Rudolph?
Yeah.
Annie?
Yeah, go with
Rudolph
Rudolph.
as well. Rudolph is solid.
Classic.
So, yeah.
Solid.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the movie before we get into spoilers. Elf has a runtime of 97 minutes and it released November 7th of 2003. Had a budget of $33 million and it grossed $228.9 million.
Wow.
Top box office, any guesses?
For
This-
December of 2003.
This is number 1, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be.
It has to be.
Number 1, The Matrix Revolutions. 2, Elf.
Terrible movie.
It
Yeah.
was not that bad.
3, Brother Bear. 4, The Cat in the Hat.
Ugh.
5, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. 6, Scary Movie 3. 7, Love Actually. 8,
like that movie.
Gothica, The Haunted Mansion. 10,
Eddie
Radio.
Murphy? I love
Yeah.
that movie.
What was 10?
I think these
Radio.
were just
10 was Radio.
Yeah, looking radio.
Hey,
And,
ball.
and 11, The Lost Episode, Mystic River.
Yes, the lost episode.
On top of the...
We recorded it,
Oh.
It's in the can.
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's never been released.
No.
Yeah, the lost,
okay.
the lost tapes.
Gotcha.
What's going to be funny is when we finally release it and we talk about what we've just watched.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be
thought about
way
that
off.
too.
Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah, that was it. It was great. According to Will Ferrell, at the movie's premiere, co-star James Caan approached him and said he felt Ferrell's performance in the film was too over the top while they were shooting the film. However, when Caan saw the finished film, he later said he understood the energy Ferrell needed to put into his performance and later praised Ferrell, saying he he gave a great performance.
Can't you just imagine what an ASS James Caan is in real life?
Yeah.
I guarantee that is him.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, I
Or
can't even
he
fathom.
was.
Yeah.
He's old school Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did a
was.
great
dead.
Clinton. He
So
did a
was.
yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
When David Berenbaum's Beck script first emerged in 1993, Carrie was pre-Ace Ventura Pet Detective and attached to front the Christmas film. However, it took
I'm
another
so glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Too. That would've been
It took
terrible.
another 10 years for the project to get in motion, at which time Saturday Night Live star Will Ferrell was signed to star.
Also, this movie wouldn't be the same without Jon Favreau.
No.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
Everything he touches
Yeah.
is good.
Dude, I even love Chef, and I did not think I was
Yeah,
going
it
to
was
like Chef.
great.
I loved that movie.
Swingers? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Swingers.
He's been good since he was in his 20s.
Listen, that
Rudy.
voicemail that he leaves, those 30,000 voicemails that he leaves to that girl. Oh my God.
I can't. It's one of the only movie scenes that I'll fast forward through.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
I
it's
just
too-
can't do it.
Too cringy.
Too much. Yeah.
Never seen that movie.
Wow.
Never seen it.
Carrie would go on to headline his own Christmas offerings, the live-action How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and the CGI animated A Christmas
That's
Carol.
perfect for him.
Yeah.
The Grinch is perfect for Jim.
Oh,
Carrey.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was.
Would you guys recommend people watch this movie? And if so, who would you recommend watch
I mean,
Elf?
if you haven't
That's what I was
seen
gonna say.
Elf by now, then
What's wrong with you?
You're like 6.
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
then you've never watched any Christmas movie.
Or you just don't watch movies at all.
I agree with that 100%.
There you go.
Come on, Grandpa Joe. There, you go.
Hey.
Oh, the old scoot. The
There
old
we go.
boot
Now I can
scoot.
hear you.
Wouldn't I be
Boot.
Grandma Josephine?
No, you're Grandpa Joe.
Your Grandpa Joe.
And
Beyonce says you're Grandpa Joe.
your Grandpa
Damn it,
Joe.
Your Grandpa Joe.
Good old Willy Wonka. All right, spoilers on your count, Lee.
Okay.
Now,
But first,
Trivia.
trivia. Question 1. What are the 3 jobs available for an elf?
shoemaking, cookie making,
Toy
Santa's
making.
workshop.
So I got making shoes at night, making toys, and baking cookies in a tree. So
Sure.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. 2. Where does Buddy meet Jody?
Jovi.
Jovi.
Jovi
Jovi? Is it Jovi?
Jovi.
He meets her at
Jovi.
Gimbals.
in Santa's workshop in Gimbals.
Yep.
Yeah. The North Pole Gimbals is what I got. What does Buddy keep on his person for spaghetti?
Syrup.
Yeah, maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
have some.
One of the
I got
7.
some right here.
Four main
One of-
food.
one of the-
four main food groups.
Yeah, 4
Yeah.
main food. Candy, candy canes,
candy
corn, syrup.
Of course. What does Miles Finch have in his 3 homes?
70-inch plasma screen.
Plasma
Yeah.
TV.
Gets more action in a
Day.
year than you've gotten in your whole life.
Yes.
Harder.
Sorry. Bonus question. How did Buddy the Elf get to New York?
First,
Oh, here we go. Do it.
I don't remember what the
The
river
candy
was
cane.
called.
Yeah.
He went through the candy cane forest.
The
and then
swirly twirly.
The river of swirly twirly gumdrops.
Uh-huh.
And then he walked through the Lincoln Tunnel.
First, I passed through the 7 layers of the candy cane forest, through the sea of the swirly curly gumdrops, and then I walked through the Lincoln Tunnel. Let's get into our long form, not so long form discussion.
Led by Lee.
Led by
No,
Lee.
absolutely not. So anyway,
Anyway,
this movie starts off. Papa Elf is telling the story of Buddy the Elf.
Sad.
It's how he's not
Because
a good
he's
elf.
adopted.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
adopted.
He
And
was
he's
picked
sucking.
up by Santa Claus in
Yeah.
his bag from the orphanage because
Yeah.
he got dropped off.
Well,
from-
the North Pole had never had
No,
a
he-
human being in it.
Santa Claus comes to the orphanage, and then he's like looking out of his crib, and he sees Santa Claus, and then he sees a little baby teddy bear fall out of the bag.
goes after it. I
Goes
don't know how
after
he
it.
got the thing down
Yeah.
on the
How did he
bed.
get out of the
Magic.
Listen, my sister, when she was like 2 years old, she would literally climb over
I
the
can,
crib.
I can understand climbing over it, but
Right.
the rail was up.
Oh, yeah, and it
then
was
the rail
down.
was down.
Right.
I want to know how he got it down.
He climbs
hole.
into
Santa's bag. We get back to the North Pole, and good old Santa Claus at Asner's congratulating all the elves and telling them that they had another successful season. And tomorrow we get to start preparing for the next Christmas.
Yay! The very next day.
Blow my head off. No, thank you. And then Santa looks over at the bag, and out comes Buddy. And what the Sam Hill is this?
I love how he says it. What the Sam Hill?
Good old Ed Asner.
So
Love
poor
it.
Buddy outgrows everyone.
Twice
Oh
as
yeah,
fast.
and I love the scenes
Papa
that they
Elf
have.
gets to raise him because he never had time to settle down and have
Yeah.
a family.
And all of those shots weren't CGI. They were forced perspective of Will Ferrell and that kid, because we'd always laugh at the scene where, he's sitting down and he's riding like
Tricycle.
Forced perspective, which
Yes.
I think is brilliant. They did a great job at it.
Oh yeah.
I think Bob Newhart nailed his role.
I do
As
too.
As only Bob Newhart can nail.
Yeah.
The way he acts, he's the same guy at everything he's
Right.
ever done.
I do like that they said that they tried different creatures.
Yes.
Elves were the only ones.
Gnomes were
Yeah.
always drunk,
Yeah, and
and
pee themselves.
the trolls weren't toilet trained.
weren't toilet
Yeah.
trained. And I like that it mixes like the claymation with the
Oh, yeah.
real actors. And
Yeah.
Jon Favreau was so excited. He based his version of Elf on the Rankin and Bass stuff.
Right.
And so whenever he got the approval of, hey, this is kind of canon to that Rankin and Bass, universe, he was super thrilled. We're kind of going through, and Buddy the Elf is aging up. Bob Newhart's character, Papa Elf, is talking about, he never really seemed to fit in, and they're doing different crafts, and he's
Super
slow on everything.
His quota, he only hit 85 etch-a-sketches for
out
the
of
day.
600.
And he's
right?
only 915
Oh, yeah.
off the pace
Right.
Yeah, 1,000 etch-a-sketches a day.
in a day. And I'm like, yeah.
Him testing the
Jack
Jack
in the
in the
Box.
Box kills me every time.
So here's the funny thing about that is that director Jon Favreau actually had a remote control trigger for all of the Jack in the Box toys to
so
get
awesome.
startled reaction from Will Ferrell.
oh, that's so great.
So the
Going
last
so
one was
slow.
planned.
Yeah.
Its actual reaction.
Yes.
I love him going, huh. And then it goes off and he shakes it. I love him shaking it.
Bastard.
And so then he overhears like Supervisor Elf saying, if he hasn't figured out that he's human by now, I don't know if
never
he's
gonna.
never
Never
gonna.
going to- and I love that he's literally up in the corner by the corner of the roof of
Right,
the building.
listening over.
And he's peering through the room rafters at them.
Literally overhearing.
Yes. And then he has like a panic attack and you don't look too good, buddy. And he's like,
Falls over on the dude.
Yeah.
On top of him.
Squashes him.
And then he runs home. I love
love-
him hitting his head on the way out.
I love
Yeah.
the montage of him showing everything that he does because he's bigger than everybody. He's playing basketball. He's just blocking
Yeah.
shots,
Yeah.
dunking on kids.
Now, there is a famous deleted scene. I'm not going to do this the whole time, I promise. But there is a famous deleted scene where he's actually playing dodgeball with the other elves.
Yes. I
So,
want to see it.
That's so mean.
Wing and dodge.
So
Right.
he goes into
Elves.
panic attack mode
Yep.
and he runs home from the workshop, hits his head on the way out, locks himself in the bathroom. Pop Elf comes and says, I think we need to talk. But him sitting on that stupid toilet, it's so little.
Oh
His
my
knees
gosh.
are on the wall.
yeah.
Right?
Him showering.
Right.
Yeah. He's splashing himself. Yeah.
I got it. Looking like Steve Martin from Playing Street.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, Papa Elf says, I
you're
adopted
human.
you. Yeah, you
I've
are
been raised
human. He shows him his dad, and he's like, there's something else.
No,
As
Santa
this later,
Claus says
Santa
that.
does that. But he tells him about his dad.
So he decides he's going to go find his dad
He's going to go find his dad.
in New York.
But there's one thing.
Well, he goes out and he talks to the
oh,
snowman.
the snowman.
Yeah.
What was the was it?
Can't
I think it
remember.
was name.
They nail the voice on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's talking to the snowman, and the snowman's like, "Yeah, don't any yell at snow." He goes, "Well, I know that.
He's like,
also-
I've seen all of the world several
He hasn't been
times.
anywhere. He got his legs."
Don't eat any of the gum underneath of anything in there.
Yeah, Santa. So he goes and Santa Claus says,
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear you're going on an adventure." He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna go find my dad in New York, and we're gonna make snowmen, and we're gonna make snow angels and wrap presents." He goes, "Yeah, there's
About
one other
that.
thing. Your dad's on the naughty list."
Yeah. The end of the world. But then it cuts to James Caan.
He's denying a nun.
Books.
Books.
He's like, yeah.
Well, it seemed like the organization that the nun is being the front for
Right.
already has the books, and they're going to take away the books, apparently, because they're not able to make up the payments.
Good Lord, but the children.
No,
the
no,
books.
I know what you're doing. You're making me to be the bad guy. You are the one that didn't make the payments. So,
Yes,
I love
He's
it.
definitely man of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Love him.
Will Ferrell goes through his journey, and of course, one of the
buddy.
hi, buddy,
Hope you find your dad.
Love that stupid thing going.
the narwhal.
No, that was the penguin that was crying. There. There.
That stupid cry.
And then he meets the real world raccoons. Like,
Yeah.
oh, hi there, friend.
Who needs a hug?
Every
I love
time.
him saying, I was just trying to give you a hug.
Gets
ahead.
into the Lincoln Tunnel and he's got his back against it because he's never been around traffic.
Right.
Ever. So he's scared to death. Walks out of the Lincoln Tunnel, and I can't imagine coming from the North Pole to New York City, the first city you've ever been to in your life, or it would just be so overwhelming. I don't think his brain would last 5 minutes.
No. So several minor traffic accidents occurred when Will Ferrell walked through the Lincoln Tunnel in his costume because people were so surprised and distracted from their driving to see him wearing an elf outfit.
I also love that all of these scenes were just shot with Jon Favreau, a camera, and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Everything he's doing in this, he's doing.
Except for the handouts.
Oh, well, I'm sure
Yeah.
that they would have to.
That's Adam McKay.
Oh, it is.
He's standing there,
Yeah.
and he's the one that tells him to get out of here. That was Adam McKay.
But him running up to the guy and saying Santa, that was a real reaction. That guy was really like, what is happening? Which I think he said they spent a whole day doing that stuff, and him getting hit by the taxi and like
The yellow ones don't stop.
the yellow ones don't stop. I love that they did that because it made it so real. And I love his excitement when he starts to eat the gum.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What I love the best is when he's eating the gum, he looks over his shoulder to make sure nobody's watching him.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get caught stealing.
But I
So
love the
gross.
excited hands, and he's like patting it, trying to get him, and he's like he can't get him fast enough.
so good.
He's going through, and then I think he finally comes across the Eiffel Tower, which is where
How
his
about the Empire State
Yeah.
Building?
Empire State
We're not-
Building.
yeah.
We're not in France.
Patty.
We're not in France.
Elf goes to
Or,
Paris.
That's a
or
different
Las
movie.
Vegas. Yeah. Empire State Building.
In full costume still. And,
And
he goes up. He gets into the elevator.
I love the guy in the elevator.
Guy gets in
I
and
would've
hits
been
his
so
floor,
mad.
and it's about 3/4 of the way up. And Buddy hits the light, and he goes, "Oh, it's beautiful." So then he just hits all the buttons. It's going to turn that
Looks like a
5-minute
Christmas tree.
elevator ride into a day-long
Right.
journey.
And so I love that he gets off and he's like, "Oh, this is my floor."
Oh, I forgot to give you a
I
hug.
forgot to give you a hug.
Thank you for not.
And, his dad's secretary thinks that it's just
I
a
like
candy
her.
gram.
Oh, what's a candy gram? I want one.
I want
That's
one.
a Christmas gram.
Yeah.
Christmas
What's
gram.
a Christmas gram?
I want one.
One.
From the North Pole.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think he's gonna sing you a song. Yeah, that
All right.
comes out. I think he's gonna sing you a song.
Okay, let's get this over with. James Caan's just a dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just doesn't have time for this.
Uh,
Love you. Love you. He's like, that was weird.
That was weird. All right, bye.
love you. We realize pretty quickly through this song that this is not a candygram, and that Buddy the Elf, where they call security on him and they throw him out
Yeah.
first, right? It's like, yeah, hey, my dad works here. Sure he does,
No,
bud.
he's just real busy, so don't
Yeah.
come back.
So he makes his way over to Gimbals. Kind of funny thing is that they shot it in a Macy's, which overtook Gimbals, and Gimbals is no longer a
Yeah, store.
store. So
Yeah.
I love the fruit spray.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can't imagine the awfulness of spraying perfume into your mouth. But not just once. Like, he was going ham on
Yeah.
that thing. Like,
Yeah.
I want fruit spray. He was like,
he sprays it in his mouth.
oh, God.
So then he's looking at the gift that says a special present for you or whatever,
Yeah.
for the
Right.
one you love, and the manager's like, "Psst."
Faison Love, which
Yeah.
I love Faison Love. He
And he's like, me?
nailed his part
love
him
going,
so well.
me, and he's like, yeah, and he's
Yeah,
like,
you
what are
get
you
over
doing?
here.
You don't shop on your break.
Okay.
You need to be in the North Pole.
This
Yeah.
is the North Pole.
Oh,
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. No, it's
No, it's
not.
not.
Where's all the snow?
Guys,
This
we
is
gotta
where he
get
sees-
Why are you
prepared.
smiling at me like that?
I like
I
smiling.
like smiles.
Smile's my
Smiles.
favorite. Make work your favorite. Work's your new favorite.
6.
All right, guys.
Revenue girls.
Everybody get ready because Santa Claus is coming tomorrow.
I know him. I laughed so hard in the theater when I saw that with that part. He goes, I know him. Just like the pure excitement of Santa Claus is coming.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Yeah,
There's
so
no
he-
singing in the North Pole.
Yeah,
Yes, there
he-
is.
Yes, sir.
He meets Jovi for the first time.
Yes.
She's decorating the tree.
Yeah.
And she's like, take a picture, it'll last longer. you decorate that tree very good.
Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah.
My wife is convinced that Zoe Deschanel acts based on her hair color, because when she's a blonde, then she kind of acts like a jerk, but when she's a brunette, then she... Not saying that everybody with blonde hair acts like jerks. Sorry, Annie. Not looking at
God.
you. Sorry.
I mean,
And, but, yeah. Anyway, this is blonde-haired Zoe Deschanel. Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of, a little standoffish with the stranger dressed
Well,
as an elf.
Yeah, and him saying he's from the North Pole.
Right.
you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course you are. Yeah. Buddy the elf is overly excited that Santa Claus is coming to this quote-unquote North Pole.
Right.
And he spends all night decorating.
It would take a team of 30 people to do what he did.
I
But
know.
because he
Right.
does have some magic in him.
Right.
He's
He's worked
able-
long enough as an elf
Right.
to know that he can put a bunch of
The
shit together.
Lego set alone
I know.
Would take months.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does it all in all the night lights or the bright
Light.
light.
The bright, yeah,
Bright
light,
lights.
light bright.
light bright.
The light brights would have taken
Light
another.
bright lights.
The bright
light
lights
bright.
from the light bright.
Yes.
yes.
There you go.
Yeah,
would also
that's it.
take about another week.
And all of the paper cutting and everything.
all the snow and the little toy hammer.
So he's
to
doing
nail it
that.
down.
and
Listen.
He hears singing from the bathroom.
I think they brought a team in overnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Out there after my job.
What's the code?
Papa's got a
Papa's
brand new
got a
bag.
brand new
Papa's got a brand
Did you
new
see the place? It
bag.
looks good. A little
Looks
too good.
A little too good. Somebody's after my job.
You win anything.
He's my
Call me
yeah.
on the
But
radio.
also, that means he had to open all of those Legos to do that.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
goodness.
He had to
Because
waste
none of
so
those
much
were
product.
Yep.
None of those were sets of buildings.
No.
He just
No.
built the building.
Yeah.
Right.
Used all the wrapping paper. Yeah, it had to cost a fortune to do that.
Well, he's also in a mall though, so
No, it's
probably
just
was
a
just
department
shopping.
store.
Department store. It's Gimbals. It's just a massive store.
No.
New York. They don't have malls in New York.
No, yeah, it's just like a 4 or 5 story building department store.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah, so he hears singing in the bathroom, and so he follows the bathroom, and it's like a shower, like a locker room, and he sits up on the counter, and he starts doing the other part of
Cold
maybe it's
outs-
cold outside.
outside.
Yeah, and she hears him, and she's like, "Get out!
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me!" And he runs into that locker. I love her walking in. She goes, "What were you doing in the ladies' locker room?"
What were you doing?
What were
ladies?
you doing?
Locker?
Shut my water off.
Wouldn't happen to be because I was naked. No, I heard singing.
Nope,
I heard
her
singing.
I want
Yeah.
to sing along. She kind of has a little like, oh, I mean, maybe he's legit on that, you know?
Right,
And then he tells her, "You have the most beautiful singing voice in the whole wide world."
right.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, I don't sing in front of people." There's no difference. You can
No.
sing by yourself. You can sing in front of people. There's no difference.
There's no
See, watch. I'm
I'm
singing. And I'm singing. Stop singing. There's no singing in the North Pole.
Yeah, there
Yes,
is.
Yes, there is. No, there's not.
Yes,
Yes,
there
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 is.
is.
Do you see the place?
Looks a little too
A
good.
little too good.
You can win anything. Call me on the radio.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
And then Santa shows up.
Oh God, this is.
He screams.
Who plays Santa? I forgot. It's the guy from.
It's a comedian.
It's the guy from.
It's not Jon Favreau.
No, it's the guy
No.
from Howard Stern. He was on Howard
Yeah.
Stern forever.
Yeah.
I can't think of
And
it.
he was also
on Mad
on,
TV.
Yeah.
He's also on Curb Your Enthusiasm
Enthusiasm.
a lot.
What
yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah.
So he comes out, and Buddy gets all excited, and he notices right away that
That's not Santa.
he's not Santa.
And there's a kid that's sitting on Santa's lap. That's not Santa. He's a liar.
You sit on a throne of lies.
You smell like beef and
You
cheese.
smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa at all. Grabs his beard. He's a fake.
He tackles him
All
through
his
the
kids
Lego set.
screaming.
No, it doesn't go through the Lego set. He tackles him, and they go around. And then he takes one of the poles that's got the ropes.
Oh, and then he
throwing the
starts
kids back. Then he
hitting it.
starts swinging through the Legos
Yes.
and just bashing everything.
And this is when the manager,
the manager
shows up.
comes
and
in
he
and
goes,
just tackles him.
Buddy gets escorted out of another building.
yes.
And so,
They gave me a restraining order.
We also forget before the locker room scene, he's sleeping in the window, and James Caan walks by.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Dad! And then the next scene is the shower scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So then he's walking in. He goes back to the Empire State Building, but this time he has the box,
Right.
the present. And they're like, nope. And they pick him up, and he was like, this is a present for my dad. Make sure he gets it.
Yeah.
He goes, Walter Hobbs. So Walter is opening it, and it says a gift for someone special, and he holds it up. And I love his secretary walking in. He just drops it, and he's like, speaker.
Intercom.
Well, I think that we did miss that scene, but right after Gimbals, he gets arrested.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
in the jail.
Yeah, we did.
Right.
So James Hahn has to come out and bail him out of jail because he gets the gift.
Oh,
and
that's
then
right.
One call. He calls Walter Hobbs.
Yeah.
to come
And he's
in.
like, what do you want? You want money? And he's like, no, I just want to be my dad. And
So then he takes him to
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau, the doctor's
I
office.
love
the
the
pediatrician.
scene when,
And
when he's eating the stupid cotton
Cotton
balls.
Little
I love
sleight
it.
of hand. Oh,
Oh. He's like,
And he
what are you
needs-
doing? He's moving around on the sheet. What are you doing?
why is it paper?
he's sitting out in the waiting room, and it's not a doctor's office. It's a
Pediatrician.
pediatrician doctor. Yeah. And so he's sitting down, and there's a little girl next to him. He's, what do you want for Christmas?
Susie talks a lot. I'll put it in a good word for you.
I know the guy.
My
Put him in
finger
a good
has a
word.
heartbeat.
It's not so bad.
That's when he eats the cotton ball, and she's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, he got mad at me. Jon Favreau walks in and says, it's a boy.
It's,
Yeah,
a boy.
it's a boy.
So confirmation that Buddy is Walter's son. He's like, so what am I supposed to do with him? He goes, I don't know. Take him home. What do you mean take him home? He thinks he's from the North Pole. He goes, if you show him a little love and compassion, maybe he'll drop the whole shtick, be a normal person. He takes him home to meet the family for dinner. And they have spaghetti, and he's like,
Well, they're walking in. Him and the wife are walking in.
right.
And he was like, she's excited. She was like, this is great. Like, it's fantastic. And he was like, there's one thing. He thinks he's an elf. What do you mean he thinks he's an elf from the North Pole? She's like, come on. And he opens the door, and he's paper mache the entire
house.
yeah, the house, and
Snowflakes.
decorated it. And
Yeah.
So
love
then the
it.
dinner scene happens.
Yes, and they're having spaghetti, and he's like, "Does someone pass the syrup?" She goes, "I didn't." What do you mean syrup? Just, I have some. Pulls it out of his sleeve. She goes, you like sugar? He goes, was there sugar and syrup? Then yes. We elves stick to the four main food groups: candy, candy canes, candy corn, and syrup. Which explains why they only sleep 40 minutes a night.
Right. Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
Sugar high. So James Hahn's wife realizes real quick, oh, wow, okay, this is a lot.
Yeah.
And they have a son, and he's just like, all right, well, here we are. So,
I love him making him tuck him in. He was like,
Yes.
tuck me in.
I can't sleep.
I can't sleep unless you tuck me in. He was like, and I'll go right to sleep.
promise.
Tickle fight.
Tickle fight. James, I know that.
He wanted to punch him.
I know
so
in
bad.
real life, James Gunn probably wanted to punch him.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure he had that thing cocked ready to go.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have let him go.
Yeah.
He'd have caught one in the ribs.
I can't imagine how many times that James Hahn actually broke character, though. And just, do you guys think so or no?
I don't
do you
know.
think he was just annoyed during
think-
the whole shooting? Or
I think Caan's one of the old school actors that would have kept it together.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm sure he was professional. I'm just sure he was short, not the friendliest person on set.
I'm sure
but
I'm sure Will Ferrell got on his nerves
Yeah.
every single day.
yeah.
I could see Will Ferrell toning it down in front of James Gunn, though. Like when it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Just,
he-
shoo.
yeah.
Done. Got it.
I don't want to catch up.
Business.
Right.
No shit.
Yeah. Buddy the Elf decides that he's going to make breakfast for everybody for the next
Yep.
day.
Spaghetti.
And it's spaghetti and syrup.
He had time to
And-
make Rocking Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out
Where'd
of
you get the wood?
The entertainment center holding the TV up.
You didn't need that.
I love how Walter comes walking through the living room and doesn't even notice
No.
that his
He's
TV's
just
on the floor.
stepping over it.
See
Yeah.
the
And-
wood.
I'm just like, you're oblivious, man.
He was like, I made you a plate.
Right.
And he was like, I'll just take coffee. And he was like,
Yeah.
Good idea. And he starts putting it back in the bowl. So Walter goes to work and he gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Because the
That
book
he
is
signed
missing
off
the
on,
last
missing
page.
2 pages.
And
Yeah.
he's like, why am I getting calls? Because people want to know what happened to the, what is it?
Oh,
A penguin and
puppy.
a puppy and something.
yeah. And he's like, I don't know. I mean, we're looking for a new printer. He goes, well, your initials are right here on these blank pages.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's up with that?
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like-
we could point fingers all day long,
He's
I
like,
guess.
8 points. That's how much we're going to lose.
-8.
Minus
That
8.
does not happen.
Yeah. Does not
So
happen.
we're going to launch a new book in the first quarter. He goes, what do
Yeah.
you mean in the first quarter? It's December 24th already
Yeah.
almost.
No, that's when they're going to have the meeting.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's
yeah.
like,
We're
that's
gonna have to-
Christmas Eve. And
Yeah.
he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing
And?
it. No problem. We'll do it.
Yeah.
So-
So then his
So-
phone rings and it's Buddy the Elf at home.
Yep.
Hey, there's a strange noise.
coming from the corner. It's evil. I know it is. No, you're right. It's just the heater.
It's just the heater.
I'll call you in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Please don't.
And then he makes his own bowl of spaghetti. And he's like, you know what this spaghetti needs? Crumbled up Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Some more syrup.
I love him eating and going,
and M&M's and hot fudge. Picks it up with his hands and shoves it in.
Yeah.
Allegedly, Will Ferrell threw up multiple times trying to shoot this scene because he kept trying to actually eat all of that food and ingest it. And finally, he was just like, was able to stomach it for a little bit, enough to get that take in.
It's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
So then we get him waiting outside of the school
Yes.
for his brother. And he's like Michael! They're like, who's
Do you
that
know that?
guy?
I have no
He's-
idea.
And
he's
It's
chasing-
me, buddy, your brother.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
He's like, I've been waiting for 5 hours for you. So they're walking through, and he's kind of explaining.
Hits him with all the questions. He's like, so, did you have a good day? Did you have a best friend? Did you have a big coat?
Yeah. Why'd your coat so big? Yeah. And then he gets hit in the face with the snowball.
No, you missed the best part.
What?
You ever seen a dog?
Yeah.
Oh, good news. I saw a dog today. You ever seen a dog before? You probably have.
You say that all the time.
Good news. Saw a dog today.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw
Lee
one
saw,
today.
Lee saw one today.
Real too close.
Yeah.
We
Real
tried
close.
to get you.
He got
Yeah.
a nose full of pepper spray.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of dog was it?
German Shepherd.
Yeah, he was getting you, huh?
Oh, he was on me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, he got a hold of my pant leg for just a second, and when I spun around, he had all of his teeth out and was like 2 feet from me, so he caught a nose full of spray.
Was he not on a leash or what?
No, what happened, the house is on kind of the corner, and they've got a big yard,
Mm-hmm.
so the fence on one side of the house and fence on the other side of the house. On this side, the fence was closed, and he's barking at me. I pay no attention because I've seen the dog 100 times. Yeah, all right. So, no, I'm good. So I passed the house. On the other side of the house, the gate was open. So the dog just came out and tried to have some lunch.
Did
Luckily,
you?
I got away.
I mean, did you tell the owners that happened?
If the owner would have come out, I would have said something, but they didn't even come out.
They're gonna come home. That dog's gonna be like,
You know, I sprayed him. All he did was like back up and then walk back towards the gate, just licking his nose.
Yeah.
That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
So he wasn't hurt or anything.
Yeah.
And he walked back into the yard, and the gate was still open when I walked back the other direction on the other side of the street, luckily.
So they weren't even home,
No, they were home. Both cars were home.
and they didn't even.
Nope. They didn't hear me
See, my
screaming.
dogs are
I was screaming.
So,
Where are we at?
I don't know. Have you seen a dog?
Yeah.
have you seen a dog?
Good news. Saw dog day.
So
You
he
seen
gets
dog
hit in
before?
the gets hit in the face with the snowball.
Yep.
And this is where he shows his real talent.
Yes.
He's like, so they duck for cover, and there's
You know how to
probably
make
a
snowball?
good 7 or 8, maybe 10 kids chucking snowballs at him from advantageous position all
Right.
around him. And Buddy's like, I think we could take him. Start making snowballs as fast as you can. And by the time Michael made one, Buddy had made like 40.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is. And he starts throwing them at max speed. Just, it's so good.
I love the noise of the guy. He's like,
I love the little Derek Jeter shortstop throw where he dives and throws
Yeah.
one. And he goes, oh no, one's getting away. He goes, snowball.
Yeah.
And he throws the long bomb and knocks the dude out.
Yeah.
I was like, that was great.
so at this point in time,
Shout out
Michael's
to
like,
Derek Jeter.
maybe he is from the North Pole.
Right?
Yes.
This is gonna be fun.
Right.
So they go to Gimbals,
And start running through the place.
Yeah.
Jumping
Jumping on
across the
pillows.
beds.
playing tag. Yeah.
And then they finally go and see Jovi.
Is there anybody that you like? And he's like, yeah, and there's a girl, and let's go talk to her.
Yeah,
you
let's
go
go
ask her
talk to
out. Sure. Yeah,
You
go
know,
ask her out. On a
Dinner,
date,
you know,
yeah.
the code.
Yeah.
You're in.
You're in.
You go to dinner, you're in.
You're
Right.
in.
Love the logic of
7th
Young
grader.
children.
Yeah.
In.
We don't know what we're in for, but
Exactly.
we're in.
Right.
we're doing it. We're having a good time.
All right. And yeah, he goes over and he talks to Jody. She's like, hey,
Jovi.
Jovi. And Jovi's like, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, I just want to talk to you.
Aren't
I just
they
miss you.
Super mad at you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I give me a restraining order. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it's good.
Yeah. And he looks over, and his boss is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
No,
just stares
He's
at
looking
him.
at him like, what are you doing?
He gets like open leg, like one hand on his leg, like look
Right.
at him, like, what are you doing here?
Really,
I should
man?
probably-
Really?
I should probably go. And he's like, do you want to eat food?
Eat food?
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
already ate lunch, but I'm free Thursday. He's like, all right, cool.
And his brother's like, okay.
Okay, we're leaving
You're
now.
done.
Going.
Let's go.
You nailed it.
Yeah. You're
Got
done. So then they go and they get the Christmas tree.
Oh,
Yes.
man. from the park.
from the
Yes,
park,
the
and
park.
it's huge.
Massive. It's as big as Clark's tree.
And
Yes,
James Caan
yes.
is like, never mind the felony. Like,
Right.
See, I thought felonies were felonies.
right. She's like, I'll have him plant another tree. It's fine.
That's fine. I thought.
I love him saying, how are we going to get the star on top?
I got it.
I got it. The
Runs,
trampoline.
jumps off the couch. Bear hugs the tree as it tips over. Almost had it, man.
It's great.
I love it.
This is where he was like, I need you to stay home tomorrow. And she's like, I have
Can't-
budget.
I can't.
It's a budget
I can't.
meeting.
And she was like, I have an idea. Why don't you take him to work with you? So the next scene is him, and they're dressed like identical.
Yes.
And he's going through the thing, and I love that he sees the assistant.
I almost didn't recognize you. I know I'm wearing work clothes.
Your face should be on a Christmas card.
Oh,
Made my
thank
day.
you.
I love him drinking the coffee, and he's like,
You don't have to drink that. Thank you.
And he's sitting on like a little cubby chair
Yeah,
in
I
the corner.
won't even let him sit in the chair.
Yeah.
It makes him sit in the corner
Yes.
on a little
and what's
footstool.
he's
Reading
singing
a
a
kid's book.
song. But he's
No,
singing.
he's saying Francisco.
Oh,
Francisco.
Francisco. That's fun to say.
That's fun to say.
And he's like,
Reading a book.
have you ever
Seen-
a mail room?
No.
It's a magical
What?
place.
Oh, I got to get you down there.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Oop, there
It
it
reminds
is.
me of
Oop.
it reminds me of Santa's workshop, except it smells and everybody looks like they want to hurt me.
Right. And so then James Caan has the meeting with his two writers, and they're like, we have an idea. We're going to call Miles Finch in. He's like, so my two head writers want to call another writer in.
writer.
He goes, I love it.
I love it.
That's great.
Let's do it.
Miles Finch.
So then Buddy's down there, and he's putting stuff in the tubes, and he's like, ooh, that's sucky.
Yeah.
He puts his face on it.
So the guy next to him puts a little alcohol in his coffee. He goes, "Ooh, syrup and
Syrup?
coffee.
I
never
love
thought of
syrup.
that.
Yep.
Can I have some?" And he just pours the whole bottle into his cup.
And the guy's like, all right.
So then back to James Caan, and he's calling Finch, and they're all sucking up to him.
71
Gas.
degrees.
Mercedes S-Class.
Yes.
Pick me up. 71 degrees, not a degree.
higher.
So then back down to Buddy, and
And
Buddy
they're
is laying.
drunk.
He's laying on the pallet of like
Mail.
Yeah. He was like, "You're my best friend."
You're my best friend. And the guy said, "This is the most unbelievable part of the entire movie."
Uh-huh.
I'm 26.
I'm 26 years old.
I
I'm
think
like,
that
bullshit.
I think that's the joke, right?
Right? I'm like, wow.
Like it's a
That's
obviously
the
a joke.
hardest
Yeah.
26 years I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
he works mail, right?
If
He
that
works
guy's
mail.
a day under 46, I'll kiss your ass.
yeah.
He
But what are
works
you getting
mail,
laughing
okay?
about? He gets him laughing. He says something, cracks up.
Papa
laughing.
Elf didn't make Master Tinker until he was 475
that's
years
right.
old.
Yeah.
He
That's
just
what it was.
busts up laughing. So then back to James Caan, and they're like, he gets a phone call, and he's like,
You got to get down here.
"You got to get down here," and like it's crazy down in the mail
Yeah.
room, and
He's still on the phone
listening,
with-
and this is when we get him dancing.
Whoop, there
it
it
is,
is.
and he's
Whoop,
kicking,
there it
yeah,
is.
kicking his legs
heels
out,
out.
Shakalaka,
Yeah.
shakalaka.
and everyone's cheering him on, and that's like cut scene.
Right.
Yes.
Good stuff.
So I think the next scene is his date goes out with Jovi.
Takes her to get the
World's best cup of coffee.
Yes,
It's a
I
crappy
love it.
cup of coffee.
He has her blindfolded too. She's
Yeah.
just
Because
blindfolded.
it is a crappy cup of coffee.
coffee.
No.
Oh, it's the best cup
It's
of
the
coffee.
world's best cup of coffee in the world.
Takes her to the spinning
door.
doors.
Yes.
He's like, the key is to keep your eyes open
Yes.
because if you close them, you'll puke.
Yeah.
Yes.
And watch your arms,
You get caught.
and they get caught.
And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Let me show you this Christmas tree." And it's kind of big Christmas tree in
Yeah.
a
In
Like,
the
it's
window.
beautiful.
another.
She was
decor
like,
window.
come with me. And she takes him
takes
to
him to Rockefeller Center.
Yeah. And he was like, that is a big
that's
tree.
a big
Tree.
one.
Yeah.
And they're ice skating.
Yeah,
and-
I love it.
You'd think that Will Ferrell, being from the North Pole, would be a little bit better ice skater. He didn't look.
I agree.
He looked a little shaky.
I do think that this scene, even if they would have had like a stand-in, like where he's twirling and
Right. That would have been great.
yeah, I think
would
that
make
that
more
was a little bit
sense.
of a.
That'd have been
Everything else is like spot on,
Right.
But he should have been like figure skater,
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
See that triple Lutz.
Yeah.
Exactly.
but so he bends over and kisses her on the cheek, and she was like, "You missed."
missed.
Yeah,
What's
She
it?
was
She
like, "I missed."
kisses him on the lips.
Blades of Glory.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
The Iron
exactly.
Lotus.
Yeah. Should have been
Yeah.
right on that.
Cut somebody's head off.
If I die, I'm going to kill you.
He goes to see his dad,
Yeah.
and he's in
'Cause
the
in
meeting.
love.
He says he's in
He's
love.
in the meeting
with Miles Finch.
Miles
Miles
Finch, who
Finch.
shows up,
Peter
and it's
Dinklage.
Peter
Yes,
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
And
I
he was like,
love
"Before
this.
we talk, I want
Money.
my
I need
money.
my money.
Money.
Yes.
He puts it in there, and he starts
Going through his spiel.
about to go over his
It's a tomato.
No.
in a farm. And
We're not
he's
doing
like,
tomatoes.
They're too vulnerable.
Too vulnerable. And
We're
everybody's
not
pushing-
doing farms.
Everybody's pushing small farms. Rule would just be white noise.
Right.
Can't have it. So Buddy comes
I get
in.
this
I'm in
little
love,
black book.
I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it. He throws the hat.
And then he sees Miles Finch. He's like,
How did you get here? Yeah.
"Oh, you're a real funny guy.
Yeah.
Oh, an angry elf.
He's an angry elf." I got a 70-inch plasma in each of my houses. Goes the whole spiel.
All three of them.
He
Yeah.
goes, "Call me elf one
more time.
He's an angry elf.
And he beats the shit out of
does.
it.
He does.
Lifting on
I
the
love
table.
him jumping up on the table and just
drop
running.
Just drop kicks in. It's the best.
I love it.
And then James Caan, so Finch is out.
Bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and James
No, he
Caan.
says it one more time.
No,
has him-
he says,
he
"Call
has
me
him by
elf."
the
He's
neck
got him
and
in a
he says,
chokehold.
Yeah,
"Call
you're
me
gonna
elf
call
one
me
more
elf one more
time."
time.
He goes,
You're an elf. And he flips him off the table.
He
Love
just
it.
walks straight out.
Yep.
It's done.
Grab-
He
yeah,
must be a South Pole.
elf.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Logan.
South Pole elf.
He grabs his coat and takes off, but leaves a very important item behind, as we find out.
Yes.
He does, but James Caan loses his mind on Buddy first.
Yes.
He says, "I don't care if you're my son. I want you out of my life. I don't
Get
want
out.
anything to do with you.
I don't
Get
ever-
out."
I don't ever see
And
you.
everyone at the table kind of looks at him like, "Sheesh." Yeah. And Buddy freaks out and goes home and uses the Etch-a-Sketch and is writing the note on it super fast.
Right?
Yeah. Can't build them very fast, but he can write on that
Oh
thing.
my gosh.
Made the Mona Lisa on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So he goes and Michael finds the
note.
So then they walk into James Caan's office, the two writers, and they're like, "Look what he left behind." And then we have 45 minutes. Like, what can you? Can
get a story going.
Story going. Storyboards. 45 minutes. And so it goes to Buddy. I think he's walking, right? And
Yeah,
he
he
sees
goes to
Santa go
Central
down.
Park.
No, he's standing on the bridge.
Yeah.
And it's snowing, and he sees Santa go down in Central Park, and he runs and finds him.
Yep.
And the engine fell off. I need you to go help me find it.
Mm-hmm.
Michael comes home, sees that Buddy left, goes to James Caan, who's right in the middle of his pitch with his boss. He flew in on Christmas
Yeah.
Eve for this.
Yeah.
And to
You're
the
gonna
board.
pitch me this book.
Yeah, and the whole board is there. And Michael walks in, and he was like, "Buddy left, like he's gone." And he's like, "Well, let me do this,
And then we'll do it.
And he was like, "You don't care about anyone but yourself and about money, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And James Caan is, "We're gonna have to reschedule this." And he was like, "No, you're doing it now." His boss is like, "You're doing it now." And he's
No, I'm leaving.
No. And Michael says something, and he was like, "Can't talk to my kid that way.
Don't tell my kid what to do.
Don't tell my kid what to do."
Yeah.
And he was like, "If you leave now, you're done." And he goes, "Well,
Bye.
Later.
I'm out. I quit."
This
Walks
job.
out and he starts screaming, and so they go on the adventure to find Buddy.
And I love that during this time, too, we get the New York News, Channel 2, covering whatever's going on. They're evacuating all of Central Park.
And they're releasing the
Central Park
Central
Ranger.
Park
Park
Rangers.
Rangers.
Park Rangers. I put them on the
They're
naughty
thirsty
list,
for
and they've
the
never
blood.
never forgiven me.
Yes.
Since the Simon and Garfunkel concert
Yeah.
back in '85.
85.
Yeah.
they've been waiting. They're ready to go.
So funny.
I love the montage, too, of the horses and them getting everything together.
Yeah. So the engine fell off of the sleigh, which we kind of didn't talk about in the beginning. Papa Elf had put this jet engine on there because Christmas Spirit
Kringle
isn't
3000.
It's not doing it anymore, so he needs some horsepower. So it had fallen off somewhere in Central Park, and the sleigh goes down because there's not enough Christmas
Christmas
Spirit.
Spirit.
Yeah. So he was like, "Buddy, you have to go find the engine." And Buddy was like, "Okay." So he goes to find the engine. I think
Michael and James Caan find him while he's searching for the engine.
He was like, "Come here, I'm going to show you something."
Yeah.
He shows him in Santa's sleigh, and they walk over, and he's like, "I see the Central Park Rangers." And so he's like, "Give me your coat."
We're going a little switcheroo.
Michael steals the naughty list, which
Takes off running.
They never really say how he got it back, but takes off running. And he's like, "I need that back, Michael. You get
Yeah.
back here with it." You know.
Everybody's wish list. Yep.
So James Caan is trying to distract him. It does not work at
Not
all.
at all. No.
Buddy's trying to put the engine back on. Santa's like, "We got to go now."
Right. Yeah.
He's like, "I'm not ready," and the sleigh just starts moving.
I'll
He
catch
grabs-
up.
Yeah, grabs the toolbox. Like, "I'll catch up with you." He runs, and then Michael is trying to tell the news people, like, "So
What's your
Santa's
name?"
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's naming all
reading
these
off
people.
kids. Yeah.
Everything that they
What
want.
they want.
And they're like, yeah. And then he names the guy in the bar.
Yeah.
And what's he say he wants? Like a spa day or something?
I think so. It must be somebody
It must be
else's
it's
name.
like a biker bar. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Must be somebody else."
Oh.
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
The news reporter's like, this is cute, whatever. And
Who
he's
put
like,
you? Yeah.
well, what's your name?
Yeah.
And then
He
she's
looks
like,
her
oh,
up.
Tiffany ring
And
for
her
my boyfriend.
Just stop dragging his feet and commit already. Who told you to say that?
Yeah.
And then we also get the little girl that was at the pediatrician's office too, and
Yeah. And
you know,
Susie talks a lot.
I
Buddy.
love this scene too, where they're showing all of these reactions of all of these characters that we've seen along the way. They're all watching Channel 2 news at
Right.
this point in time,
Right.
You know?
Mhm.
Of course, so it's
That's
great.
a very 80s movie thing
Yeah.
to do,
Yeah.
which I
Right.
like.
Yeah.
And Zoe Deschanel sees, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I know what's going on." And so she takes off and
She
tries
finds
to
Michael,
find,
and she's like,
finds
"Michael, are you okay?"
here?" And same with the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also comes down, and she's like, "I knew something."
James
crazy was
Caan
going
makes
on.
his way to Michael,
Yep.
and they're all in this group of people that have witnessed the
Right.
sleigh go down. They saw something.
Michael tells Jovi that, hey, Santa's sleigh is stuck because there's not enough Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
And Jovi remembers the best way to spread Christmas
Christmas
cheer
cheer
is
is
sing
singing
loud
loud
and
for
everyone
all to
to
hear.
And then James Caan tells his wife, he's like, "It's true. Santa's real. Buddy the elf
He's
was
still wearing his coat.
Yeah, Buddy the Elf is with him, and really an elf from the North Pole. And so Zoe Deschanel starts singing.
Yep.
And I'm just going to tell you that whenever she starts singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, we start singing it too at my house. Every single time we watch it,
Yeah.
we start singing along too. And it does get me a little bit emotional.
Yeah.
You know, I know.
Annie,
A little emotional, he says.
Right.
Annie
A
just,
little emotional,
Annie
he
just
says.
weeps.
Yeah.
No, you guys, seriously, I'm going to tell this story. It make me sound like a goober, but whatever. So,
We're all goofy
when I was
goobers,
little,
yeah.
my favorite Christmas song was Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother sang that to me every year.
Yeah.
She passed away this year. God damn. Sorry.
That's all right, man.
man.
And when this movie came on, I totally forgot that this part was even in
Oh,
there.
shit, yeah.
And then she starts singing it, and I'm just like over there crying like a baby.
Yeah.
It was rough. Still gets me. Yeah.
It's going to get you for the rest of your life, my friend.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But still a good movie.
Great.
It's a great movie.
I won't
Yeah,
avoid
it's a
it.
great movie.
No, I mean, why would you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure to remember her and what she did every year, you know? So no reason to avoid it.
Yeah.
Mine will always be White Christmas. That's my favorite Christmas song.
Yeah.
And my mom used to sing White Christmas to me. I mean,
Yep.
yeah. So,
Good old Deb.
well, Deb. She sings. And
She sings, and everybody starts joining
Joining
in,
in.
except for James Caan.
and that-
he's just
it's
mouthing it.
And he gets the Kringle 3000 working, and he gets him out of Central Park, and he hits the statue, and the Kringle 3000 flies off.
And he drops
he's
right
dropping, and he's like, "I'm not going to be able to do this." And Michael's like, "You're not singing." He's like, "Yes, I am." And he's like, "You're not,
Not
singing.
singing.
And as soon as he starts singing,
Santa Claus
Kringle,
is
or
coming.
the spirit hits 100%, and Santa takes off. You know,
Right. And yeah, everybody
everyone sees it.
sees it, and
Yes.
not even
Flies
they
right
don't
over
even
the
show the
top of 'em.
camera. Cuts back to the news station. I guess we'll never know what happened to
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So then we find out that Buddy and Jovi get married.
Yep.
And they have a little one.
Susie.
And they're up at the North Pole, either visiting or living.
Oh, let me see
Visiting.
the little one. Let
Yeah.
me see the little one. And
Yeah.
I love that Buddy and the baby ghost
Yeah.
and sit on Papa Elf's lap.
And he's like,
And then Walter starts his own publishing company,
Yeah. Yes.
and his first book is
Buddy's-
Buddy's Story.
Buddy's
Yeah.
story.
It sells wildly.
Like
and
hotcakes. Yeah.
Buddy goes and does the readings at the bookstores to all the
First,
kids.
I went through.
The 5 layers of the candy cane forest.
and that's pretty much the end of the movie.
So-
And it's great. It ends with Snowman talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's explaining, he's telling the rest of how it all went down. But I mean, this is a classic. It's fantastic. Everything about, there's nothing really bad about this movie.
No, nothing bad about it. No.
Our ratings scale for this is we have an S through F scale, S being the best. We only have 3 as of right now, and they are Jaws, The Way, Way Back, and The Exorcist. And then we have A, which is almost perfect. There's just a couple things holding it back. Maybe just like a fight scene or something. And then we have B, which is good, above average. C is our average. D is just... It's
Bad.
not great.
Yep.
Yeah. There's like a couple redeeming qualities, but not a whole lot.
Right.
And then we have F, which F is just complete garbage. And we only have 2 of those. Jason Takes Manhattan and
The item.
The Item. Thank you for that. I'll never
welcome.
forgive you.
So, side
very
note
welcome.
about the item.
Yeah.
Play Black Ops 6 Zombies.
Okay.
So there's
Oh, no.
there's a round called Vermin.
Yeah.
Right. So you can go into the settings and they have an arachnophobia mode.
Okay.
So if you have arachnophobia, you click this toggle and it takes the legs off. So it makes these things look
What?
like the
The
item,
item.
Oh my
is
god.
coming at
No. Oh my. No.
And instead of the spider creatures walk on legs, well, the item just floats.
God.
It comes at you and jumps with no legs.
Gross.
Yeah. Doesn't have eyes. It just has a mouth.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's kind of what that was,
It's
right?
like, hey,
Yeah.
Lee.
I was gonna say, does it
Except this
talk
one wants to kill you.
Right. That one wanted to kill you too.
Right.
No, he just wanted you to do it yourself.
Right.
Yeah. So, Annie, since you are our guest, let you, if you want to, you can go first, or we can go later on.
Gosh, this one's hard to. I know, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Did I just break the chair?
You did. You broke it.
I don't
Good
think
thing it's not my chair.
I'm
just kidding.
honestly, I'm gonna have to say S
Okay.
because this is. I'm sorry, but I love that it got that old school cartoony.
Animation.
It's in
stop
there,
motion.
yeah. And then Jon Favreau.
He's brilliant.
Exactly.
He really is brilliant.
He
He's
can't-
great.
He can't do
You couldn't have
so.
casted any better. Either.
Exactly.
No,
So-
I agree. Yeah, everyone's perfect.
And I'm sorry, but we watch this at least
At least once a year.
or twice.
Yeah.
So
This is
yeah.
also not necessarily just a at Christmas time
exactly.
movie.
I can
Yeah.
watch it anytime. So.
Yeah, yeah, I
I'm
agree.
sorry. I have to say S. So.
All right.
Oh.
Dave.
Me?
Yeah.
We're coming around the horn.
So I would say how the movie's filmed, it's kind of genius. Like the beginning of it feels like the old school claymation.
Mm-hmm.
But then when Buddy has a scene I love in New York where it is genuinely just Will Ferrell being crazy.
Yeah.
And Jon Favreau with a camera. And I love that they didn't have a cameraman. It was just him with a camera walking around New York City and watching him just figure out things to do. No script, no anything.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much of this movie was ad-libbed as well.
Right.
By Will Ferrell. Yeah, casting's perfect in it. I'm going S as well.
So here's the thing about
It's just
Elf.
hard because it's a Christmas movie, you know?
Okay.
Right.
Is that I watched this movie and I was trying to watch this movie with a critical eye. Okay.
Sure.
I couldn't watch it with a critical eye because I love this movie. I really do. This is something that we watch every single year. I know the jokes are coming, but it makes me laugh every time anyway. And the only thing that separates this between National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and is that this has a plot to it. Not saying that Christmas Vacation isn't that great. It is a great movie. I'm still going to watch it every Christmas, but this movie has a plot and it matters. Like it tugs on your freaking heartstrings and it's not like trying to get you to do that. But at the end of the movie anyway, I'm still getting emotional whenever everything's happening.
Sure, yeah.
Logan, do you want to tell them what my rating is for this movie?
S.
Yay. Good job.
S.
S.
All right, there we go.
So
Lee.
Johnny
Gonna
Raincloud
be Johnny Raincloud.
rolling in hot.
Oh, rolling in real
Real
hot.
hot.
Hot take here. Hot take. Hot take. I didn't want to give this movie an S because I didn't think it was. As
Okay.
far as movies go,
Okay.
you think of the big hitters like
Yeah.
Exorcist, Jaws,
Yeah.
Right.
stuff like that. I don't see Elf as one of those movies.
Okay.
I love it. I'm personally attached to it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it multiple times every year. It has no flaws, but I can't give it that S because it just doesn't bring it home like those other three movies do right now. I don't know.
It's your opinion.
It's your
It is
opinion.
my opinion, and I don't want to be Johnny Raincloud. I really don't. I just, again, it hits all the boxes. It
Yeah.
ticks all the boxes.
Right.
It just doesn't feel like an S to me.
Okay.
But I'm going to give it an S anyway.
Woo!
So we hit our fourth movie.
Wow.
Well,
And it's a Christmas movie.
and it's
Which-
a 4-voter. Another 4-vote.
Another 4-vote
S
Christmas
movie.
Yeah.
Which is rare.
Hey, and it was with me.
Right.
Hey, there we
Our
go.
first 3-time guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait till you get your
Three-time
5-time
club.
jacket.
Two
Yeah.
more.
Yay.
Two more, and you get your jacket. We don't even get jackets.
Brought to you by Maids for More than Home Cleaning Service.
That's
Your
right.
house deserves.
Nailed it.
So,
Get that help. That
S movie.
S
That's
movie.
movie. Wow. Cool.
Elf, Exorcist.
Right.
Polar opposites.
Way back.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Jaws.
And Jaws.
We're gonna
So,
hit
all right.
All right.
Cool.
All right,
We'll
we'll talk
see you
about it
guys on
later.
the next one.
All right, bye.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas. Oi, oi.